Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Bravo Bedside Banter. I am here. My name is Meredith, and I am here joined with my co-host, Rachel.
Hey, everyone.
We have, lots have happened this week in the Bravo world, so I feel like we should jump right into it.
Yeah, lots of announcements, too. So, do you
Yeah.
want to start with the announcements, or do you want to save the juicy stuff?
No, I think this is just breaking just now,
Yeah, you
as we
texted me
record.
like an hour before we started recording. You're like, we have to talk about this. And the
So
breaking news is
Yeah, so Peacock sets Real Housewives dating show spinoff with Luann, Giselle, and Ashley
Shannon.
Darby. Shannon and Ashley Darby. And it's going to be on Peacock. I'm loving that Luann is going to be on this. Can't get enough of her. And it's going to filming will take place this September in Cabo. If one thing that
Oh,
Bravo Lebs love, it's a trip to Mexico. If one thing that
oh,
Shannon Storms Boudoir loves, it's a trip to freaking Mexico.
the Cuatro Amigas.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to fight over the men, or do you think, like, I bet that's going to be part of it. So,
Yeah.
from the little blip that people posted was that uh, they're all four of them are going to be the eligible bachelorettes, and then they're going to bring in men for them to date. So, I know Giselle and Luann are going to fight over the younger men, but
Yes.
Ashley probably will too because Ashley's like, I think she's like my age, actually. I don't think Ashley's that old. I think she's like 35 or 34.
Really?
Yeah, I think Ashley's
I
like a
don't know
little.
why. I also thought she was like at least in her 40s.
No, she's a lot younger than you think because she started out on The Housewives when she was still in her 20s, actually. She was
Ah,
like
this will be
28. I
good.
know, I know. Shannon's
And
gonna have lots of breakdowns. Poor Shannon.
yes,
She does not have the mental health to be on a dating show right now.
I know. Well, I don't know.
Maybe she's better.
Maybe things have changed. I'm excited. But that also means that we aren't going to see this until probably at least what, April?
Yeah, the editing is so long on these shows, which is really annoying.
April at the least is when we'll
Mhm.
see this. So
Yeah.
that's so exciting. I'm really, really glad that Luann is going to be back on our television. Love to see it.
And didn't it also say that it's like the producers of Love Island? I think
Oh, I
that
didn't see
some of the
that.
people, something about Love Island was on there. Maybe it was a producer.
Just maybe that Love Island's also on Peacock.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. Are you watching Love Island?
I am not, but I have seen clips and I like it. I like what I see.
Okay, so I was always like, I can't watch Love Island because it's too much of a commitment. Like, one season is 36 episodes. It's 36 hours, and they come out every day.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
Monday through Friday. I was like, that's too much of a commitment. I already feel behind on my reality shows on Bravo. I can't have one more
Same.
thing. Plus, I have like a couple on like I like Perfect Match and Love Is Blind and some of those other
Yeah.
shows. I started watching it last week because I went to my friend's house and her 16-year-old daughter was like, Auntie Rachel, we need to watch Love Island. And I was like, I don't think I want to watch that, Brooklyn. And she was like, no, I think you're really going to love it. And we start watching it. And I was like, the show is amazing. Like, it is so amazing. And so I was watching like the last couple episodes of the current season with her. And then yesterday I started watching from episode 1 of the current season with her. And so we're
Oh,
watching, or
so
with my
you're
friend.
committed.
I'm committed. We're 3 episodes into 36 episodes.
Holy shit. It is a huge commitment, and that's why I've kind of pushed it off. And
Yeah.
everybody's saying that everybody that I know that has watched it says that the US version is trash, but folks are saying that this season of the US version is really good. And I don't know if that's just because Ariana's on it or if the drama is that juicy. I've caught like clips and it seems to be a banger.
It is such a banger. The men are atrocious. The women are great TV. I don't know how I've stayed away for so long. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. There's this guy named Rob that like all of the women are after, and it's so crazy because he's literally just like, I think he's hot, but I don't understand why everyone's after him. Like he's a generic stock image of a white man. Like he's
Okay.
just like someone, he's a stock image you would see on like a dental commercial or like in the Kohl's catalog. Like he's just,
Not Coles.
yeah, he's like, he's attractive for sure, but he's also just like he's a generic stock image of a white man. And
Okay.
all of the women are going crazy over him. And I'm like, are you not noticing all of these other men that are like way
Okay.
hotter and more unique?
What did you say his name was?
His name's Rob. He does have a sexy tattoo on his arm. He has like this snake that like wraps around and goes up to his shoulder.
Not the Coles ad, Rachel. You are hilarious. Okay, I get it. But yes, I'm stock image of a yeah, white boy.
Like there's just nothing unique about him.
Yeah, it's giving Abercrombie in
Well,
2005 maybe.
totally. Totally. He probably was, well, no, he's like 23. They're all really young. I think the oldest one is like ancient at 27.
Ancient at 27.
Yeah.
The old age of
The old
27.
age of like the other day, someone we were talking about reality shows with someone I work with, and they were like, "You should go on The Bachelor," and I was like, I'm too old. Like I have aged out." They're like, "Your uterus? Absolutely not. You're 33, almost 34. No way. You're not going. You can't be on the show."
Oh my god. I mean, but it is true. Maybe they'll have like a like how they've had the Golden Bachelor. Maybe they'll have something for like the
Your
middle
middle
ground.
age.
That'll be like the beige Bachelor,
Yeah.
the millennial grayish Bachelor.
Oh my god.
Hey, I think we're onto
Oh,
something.
I think we are too. Should we be producers?
Yeah, let's pitch it. So, okay, also speaking, I feel like I just have a lot of OC stuff. So, overall,
Yeah.
things I've watched this week, personally, Below Deck, not doing it for me.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's kind of just boring at this point. What else? New Jersey, not doing it for me right now.
And you're a Jersey stan,
I am.
and
So,
this
the whole
season is
cake
boring.
thing, the sleepover cake that Danielle did, I'm like, that's a little try hard.
The whole, I don't know, this, okay, I really didn't like the sleepover because it felt really infantile for the male gaze. Like all the pigtails with like the matching pajamas, it just felt like very hypersexualized little girl for the male gaze.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I was like, this is weird and gross.
Yeah,
All they
I
needed
don't
was
know.
like baby doll dresses.
I will say I'll give them credit that it was a little refreshing to not have just bitching and fighting the whole time.
Yeah.
But next week is going to be they're going to be back on their bullshit.
Hmm.
And I do think that the larger audience is kind of over it. So I think that we will see a shakeup next season. I think Jen and Teresa might not stick around, which would be crazy. But I think that's kind of what the general audience wants is for them to go.
Teresa has to do something to make money though, because Louis is spending all her money and Louis
There's
broke.
that. There's
Yeah.
that.
So what Teresa gonna do?
I think she has done a good job at monetizing her stuff, like her Namaste Bitches podcast. And I don't know. I hope it works out well, but I think New Jersey's going to get a shakeup. Maybe they're going to do a whole new cast
Yeah.
because, like, it's not working.
No, it's not.
And whenever Danielle came in with the cake, and she was like, like she was so like thought she was really doing something there.
I know. It was kind of embarrassing.
I
Like I
know.
felt secondhand humiliation.
Yeah.
I was like,
And she's kind of I mean, I don't hate Danielle. Like I think that she does add something to the group, but it's when she does these things that feels like she's trying extra hard that really actually bother me.
totally.
And this one was one of those times where it felt like a lot. So
Yeah, I get that.
like you could really tell that she really thought that she was gonna have her like flipping table moment when she poured her drink in Jen's face, and it just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, it really did. I think that Probably it's interesting because I feel like this with a lot of reality shows, the first couple seasons are so much more authentic
Yeah.
because there's not been this kind of script that people start to fall into or like, well, this is how I have to behave or this is what I need to do. And, all of the most like table flip, what was that, like season one or two?
Yeah, early days.
Aviva's leg throw on New York,
Iconic.
like
Iconic.
iconic season, I don't know, four or five. Like it was
Early.
early. A lot of Vicky's van scene early, like that was
Early.
like season two or three. Like
You're so right.
it's all of these iconic moments that are like really from beginning seasons when people weren't being produced or acting like they were just like that nuts.
Yeah. Which I think also makes for the good TV. And then now I think also with social media, it's just people trying to hold on to that. And you can't you can't recreate greatness like that. You can't try, or else it
Mhm.
comes across as trying too hard. And I mean,
Totally.
truthfully, I want to say that Jen Aiden was a fan, like a fan of the show,
I think she was.
and then tried to come on. So that's also a little
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
So that's kind of my roundup. Below deck, boring. New Jersey, whatever. OC is giving me life right now, giving me at least something to talk about. And what else is on? Dubai. Dubai's good.
Dubai's
Dubai's
good.
actually doing a lot better than I thought.
Yeah. I think that give it like one more season. I think it'll be a really good show. I think we need to get to know these people a little bit better. And also, it's such a different culture that it's kind of, I think that there's probably things that we're not getting just by like not totally understanding the culture. But if we had one more season of the culture, I think we'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, this is making more sense.
Also, I want to say you sent it to me or reposted it about that. Was it a princess who who divorced her husband on Instagram?
No.
Yes. It was like I'm gonna fuck this up, but she posted, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, which whenever you say that to someone in what I'm gonna fuck this up. But apparently like whenever you say it three times in the I wanna say Muslim
Hmm.
religion, it is like that makes it legit.
And she just did it on Instagram.
And she did it on Instagram. Like you can no longer walk. I gotta get this or else I'm gonna mess it
You
up.
gotta
But
find it. I could have sent it to you, and it could have been one of the mass amounts of pop culture that I consume and then forget about.
yes. So in the meantime, I'll try to look for that. But yeah, it was so good. And I could see this hoochie going on Dubai,
Ooh, yeah, that would be great.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of I think that's the other thing too about reality TV now. People go on because like, 10, 15 years ago, you weren't guaranteed anything besides this show. You weren't guaranteed social media or paid posts or other career opportunities. If
Right.
anything, this was like a career killer because people would be like, "Oh, you were on reality TV. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing." And now people go on all of these reality shows because regardless of if they're liked or hated, they will get a shit ton of Instagram followers and money and paid partnerships and
Yeah.
podcasts and clothing deals, etc.
So I have it here. It was the Princess of Dubai or from Dubai just divorced her husband via Instagram post. Dear husband, as you are occupied with other companions, I hereby declare our divorce. I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you. Take care, your ex wife.
That's savage and also the level of petty I'm here for.
Yeah, let's get her on Housewives. Let's
Let's
get
get her
her.
on Housewives.
Yes, that is what I want to see on my TV. I want to know what happened. I want to know how she's thriving. I want to know about her new man. Like, I want to know about these things.
I love seeing women do better. And she seems like one that could do better.
And she is beautiful.
Oh,
And yeah, so that's my take. What kind of thoughts do you have about anything other than OC before
I'm
we?
like I just want to dive into OC, I think, because I feel the same way. I started Jersey and I honestly got distracted because I was bored and like didn't really pay attention. I
Yes.
watched Below Deck, similar. I like started watching it and then I was just like, I'm fucking bored. And then I watched Dubai and I was like, this is great, but I don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
And then OC, I was like, I've got a lot. First of all, I have to say I identified as Heather wanting to be the referee because if any of my friends were to be like, we're going to play flag football, I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will meet you afterwards. I don't do recreational sports and I don't do recreational sports with friends. I won't do it. I don't do recreational sports.
I am also big like cheerleader energy.
Yeah. I would have not played flag football on the beach. Absolutely not.
So good for Heather. Also, question for you. What do you think about? I mean, it was such a small moment. If you blinked, you may have missed it. But what do you think about Alexis saying that she and Johnny J were having sex 4 times a day? Which also, what is it with Housewives coming on the record saying that they fuck 4 times a day?
So I just want to say, like, are either of them, well, he's not working, right? He takes his money from the women he dates.
I have no idea. I want to say he actually owns his own business. Have no idea. Cannot confirm.
Okay, I just, timing wise, to realistically do that every single day, that means that you do not have, like, especially, let's think about Alexis. Let's think about the woman who is always really put together, always in like full glam, always has her hair like minus even the like oiled back look. She took time to do that. Like that wasn't just like a do this in 5 minutes. Even the hair look that
You're talking
was
about Crunchy?
yeah.
No. Don't get me started again.
So the but okay, when you have sex, you have to like redo everything. Like your makeup melts off because your skin temperature gets high. That's why whenever people are like, my makeup comes off during sex, it's not because it's getting rubbed off. It's because your temperature of your body is raising, which is melting your makeup off. And then it
Mhm.
does smear a little bit easier. Your makeup's melting off. Your hair is getting crazy. For me, someone with curly hair, I'm like fucked after I have sex because like someone if someone even touches it, it's like afro. It's like I like, or all my curls are undone, or it's in a big knot. So I can't have sex 4 times a day and also go film. Like that doesn't like, and I don't think that like realistically, when I think about the timing of it, there's no way they're having sex 4 times a day, unless they're having like really, if they're having quickies and like not touching each other's hairs or face.
Okay. Oral sex.
Oral sex, but like her receiving oral sex, not her giving. Her giving, that's going to mess up all of this.
So I agree. I do not think that they're having sex 4 times a day. And if they are, great. Good for them. Tell us your secret. Like,
Yeah.
what's the secret sauce? Because I think even the average person, that's a lot. When
Yeah.
you're even when you're not filming and doing other things, that's a lot. So my question for you then is, why do you think Bravo Lebs, and I will even generalize to people in general, why do you think people exaggerate their sex lives and exaggerate specifically how much they have sex?
Mm, I think it's a couple reasons. I think for sometimes women, it's because they want other women to see them as desirable. Like, this man wants me so much. It's like kind of in the realm of pick me a little bit of like, my man wants me so much more than your men want you.
Mm.
And I could see that with Alexis. This like, my man fucks me 4 times a day. Your man like barely, you like barely fuck him once a week. My man wants me. I think that that could be a part of it. I think also like the exaggeration or the clickbait when you're on TV and you can be like, this is going to be clickbait. Someone's going to make an article or post about this. They're
And
going
talk about it like we
to yeah,
are.
exactly. We bought into the clickbait and here we are talking about it.
Yeah.
But I also think it's like a bragging right because so many of the housewives are not in happy marriages. Like that's a storyline of at least one or two housewives every season.
Yeah.
And so if you can be the housewife that's like, I have the hot marriage, it's also like, I'm better than you.
I think you're onto something. And I also believe that it has something to do with age,
Mm,
and that is something that would maybe have them appear to be younger or have youth
mm,
like, not tendencies, but youth, be more youthful.
Totally. Yeah.
And you see that also with Larsa whenever she was with Marcus. I'm like, did
Hmm.
I butcher his name? No, that's his name in Miami.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot with we saw that in their relationship. And she also was saying she was like bragging on the on the reunion that she was like fucking Scottie Pippen like 4 times a day.
Oh, yeah.
And then she also was like, and I gotta keep my current man satisfied. Like we have fun. I think it is an age thing. I think it's also a society thing. Like why do we put so much value on the number of sex? I am more like if you're having quality sex, if you're everybody's enjoying it and it feels really good, who cares how much it's happening as long as everybody's happy.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of clients that will come to me and be like, "How much sex should we have, or how many times is a good amount of times to have sex per week or per month or per year?" And it's like, really doesn't matter if you're happy with your sex life. If you are happy with your sex life and you have sex once a year and that is what you need, then that's what you need. Awesome. If you're happy
Yeah.
with your sex life and you have sex once a month, that's fantastic. If you're happy with your sex life and you have sex 3 times a day, sure, great. But the quantity of sex that you're having does not mean that you have a good sex life. And I think that that's like what we're seeing on this show and other Bravo shows when they talk about it is like, just because you're having a lot of sex doesn't mean it's good sex.
Yeah.
If anything, it's probably a lower quality because there's so much quantity.
So that is something that I was also going to follow up with you. Do you think, and I think I know your answer, but do you think that there is a such thing as too much sex?
No, I don't. I would say like too let's go too much sex. If sex is if the amount of sex you're having is impeding your work, your relationships with your friends, or your relationship with yourself, then that is probably too much sex for you. But if, and by I'm saying like you're skipping work, you're like missing assignments and appointments. You're not spending any time with your friends because you're having sex with your partner all the time. You're not spending any alone time with yourself with solo sex or just like hanging out alone and spending time alone because you're always having sex with your partner. That's a problem, but it's not a problem because of the sex. I'd say it's a problem because you have a codependent relationship. The sex
Yes,
is
that
the
part.
like is the cake we see, but the ingredients are the codependency.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And also, just can we also talk about your health? I mean, how that can impact your physical health,
Hmm.
the pH, and all for all parties involved. I mean, it can, if you're just going at it all day, every day, unless I guess you build like a tolerance to it. But I've never met somebody that has a tolerance to your pH being that fucked up.
No, you need to be using vaginal moisturizers and like boric acid. You need to be like if you're having that much sex, you need to be having also really great vaginal care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only
And I
wearing cotton underwear.
And I get it too. Like there are people who have sex for a living and that's wonderful and great, but also they are professionals and they know how to take care of things.
They're
And
also
also,
taking breaks.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, they're taking breaks.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. And I just kind of saw some online discourse about just too much sex and why are these housewives having so much sex? And I'm like, let's really read between the lines here. I don't think that that's really happening at the frequency that they're portraying. And also, why are we so bothered by people like to the point that we want to inflate how much we're having sex? Like, what?
We're bothered because we want to be like, because I mean, society has trained women into this like um personification of like everything we do has to be because we are desirable to men. The way we do our hair, the way we wear makeup, the way we put on clothes, like everything we do, the way we talk, the way we speak, the way we eat, what we eat and what we don't eat, what we drink and what we
Yeah.
don't drink. It's all about, am I desirable to a man? Am I making myself desirable? Do men like me? Am I palpable? If I am the girl that is saying I'm having sex 4 times a day, I'm really palpable to a man, and I'm also really
Mm.
desirable.
And she's always kind of been a pick me,
Oh yeah,
Alexis. Yeah.
yeah,
I think to a degree, most housewives are by default because they're wanting to showcase their life, a version of their life in this kind of way.
totally.
So
Yeah,
interesting. I'm glad that we went there.
me too. I think what I think probably happened is they had sex 4 times on a weekend, like on a Saturday, Sunday back to back, and she's like, "We have sex 4 times a day every day," and
Yeah.
like they just like had a fun weekend.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's probably it. And again, I've said it in previous pod episodes, but whenever they're filming this, they are still in their honeymoon phase, very much so. They
yeah,
just started dating.
yeah. Like 2 months in, right? That's what we determined. Like 2 or 3
Yeah,
months.
something like 2 or 3 months in. And she's also like throwing so much fucking shade towards Shannon for no reason. I mean, to be a bitch, to have a orange, to be a part of the cast. And she's saying that, oh, this is our gym. This is Johnny's gym. Get over
Johnny
it.
J, the best rebrand. the
Jesus.
this is our gym. I know that was like so absurd because any if I was dating someone and they invited me to go to their gym that they used to go to with their ex, to go to the trainer that they used to go with their ex, knowing that their ex still went to that gym, I would be like, absolutely fucking not. I'm not a
Yeah,
pawn in your weird like turf war or your weird like you don't get to show me off. Like it's like Gina said, it's Orange County. Everyone has a 6 pack. There's a gym every block. Go find a new gym.
exactly.
Like that is a weird fucking thing for John to do.
Yeah, I agree. Weird behavior, stalker behavior. I don't like it.
No, Johnny J sucks.
Totally. So, can we talk about Emily and her boudoir
Yeah,
shoot?
yeah. So I was just watching the episode with my sister too, and my sister Sarah hasn't seen. She'll like watch Housewives with me sometimes, but she doesn't watch them consistently. And she was watching it, and Shane came out in that montage of him like drinking all his cokes, and she was like, "Ew, why does her husband look like a troll that just crawled out from under a bridge?" And I was like, "Oh my god." She was like, "She's so hot, and he looks like a fucking 2 feet troll that just crawled out from his like year of sleep."
I am loving Shane though.
I
Like,
know.
say what you will, he has really like stepped up, and I used to hate him and now I love him.
I like him a lot more. I do think it's important too that he's like talking to Emily about, hey, you're like working out a little bit too much. You're becoming a little too obsessive. I think a lot of men wouldn't do that because they would be like, oh, I love the way you look.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think also it's what are your children picking up from that?
Yeah. I I think you texted me about this, like talking about her boudoir shoot, right?
Yes,
And
and she said that even now, the fact that she weighs, she's exactly where she wants to weigh and she feels really great, but she is still not confident.
because confidence doesn't come from losing weight. Like confidence is something you build internally.
Louder for the people in the back.
Like if
Louder
you're not
for our parents' generation.
truly for the almond moms, oh my god. Like the amount of women I know, or even clients I've had, or even myself, I think all of us at one point or at multiple points in our life are like, oh, if I just get skinnier, I'll feel better about myself. And that's literally not how it works. It's a lie.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. If you are not confident at the size you are now, if you cannot learn to love yourself at the size you are now, you are not going to love yourself or feel confident at a smaller size because that's an internal journey, not an external one.
Absolutely. I think being on Housewives fucked her up a little. I mean, I think it fucks everybody up a little bit. But I think specifically having yourself under this microscope is going to take any previous body dysmorphia or disordered eating or any kind of body image stuff and just blow it up because everybody's commenting. And she has always been beautiful and always said, always been incredibly honest with where she was and her, how she felt about her body, which I love and appreciate. I think she looks great now. She looks super hot, but I thought it was really interesting that she said that she did a boudoir shoot for Shane a couple of years before, and she said that she felt more confident than now.
Yeah. Because
So, go ahead.
I think that when you learn confidence at a size that is like not what standards say is beautiful, that's like true confidence because you've rejected all of these ideas of like Western European colonized beauty. And then when you lose the weight and you get to that size of like Western colonized beauty, that this standard, this silly standard that we have for women, you have so many people telling you like you look amazing, you look amazing, you look amazing, you look so good. What's that really saying? You were never good enough before. That time when you
Yeah,
were confident, you weren't actually good enough, and we were all thinking about it. We all thought you were ugly. We all thought you looked bad. We all thought you should lose weight. Like, and that's really demoralizing because that's ripping away all of the confidence you've built.
100%. I mean, I had that happen to me even when, because of something medical that was going on, I lost a lot of weight really quickly, unintentionally. And I had people commenting, like, oh, you look so good. And that alone becomes addictive. And then what was unintentional becomes obsessive and becomes nonstop. And that's all you can think about. And no matter how I felt before, I mean, I've always been like, this is kind of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It reared some really huge insecurities that I had, and brought out a very not great place for me. So, I mean, I can totally relate to that too. And I'm not, on TV, I'm not being hyper analyzed by everybody.
Yeah, I relate to it too. When I went through my breakup last year, I lost a lot of weight really fast because I was like so depressed. I was so nauseous, like I could not eat anything. Like it was a lot. If I could get down, like I would just go to the store and get like those super high calorie like Bolt Horse Farm smoothies because that was like the only thing I could get down for the day for months. So was not eating. I was not healthy. I couldn't do any type of exercise because I was like so malnourished, and I had so many people telling me on social media, in person, oh my God, you look amazing. You look so great. You look fantastic. And it was like, I was at the worst I've ever been mentally, which,
Mhm.
and I was like, I was a shell of a person. My grief was so big that I felt like I couldn't move at all.
Yeah.
And everyone kept telling me how good I looked and how great I looked, how much and I was so confident before that happened too, because I'd worked really hard to be confident with my body and to be like, I'm not the size that standard beauty says is beautiful. And I love the way I look, and I love my body. I'm so thankful for all the things my body have done. That experience, so losing that weight too rapidly. And then now in like the last like probably 6-ish months, I've started to go back to my normal weight.
Yeah.
And I'm about at my normal weight right now. That has been some of the most horrible like body dysmorphia, wanting to slide back into like disordered eating months I've ever had, because it's like that is addicting. And all those people that are telling you look good, what are they really saying? They're saying you didn't look good before. That confidence that you had, we all thought that was crazy because you should
Yeah.
have looked skinny.
Yeah. And I think it even impacts, I mean, I know for a fact that it impacts beyond just how, like, your day to day, beyond just how a shirt fits you. It impacts, how am I showing up? What does my partner think of me? How do they perceive me? And regardless if it's true or not, our anxious brains immediately goes to, they think I'm bigger and they think that that's a bad thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's projecting, and then so in turn I can justify myself feeling bad about this.
Yeah. And I know so many women that I've worked with, like, they don't want to have sex when, if they don't feel good about their bodies. So they'll pull away
Yeah.
from intimacy. They're like, I don't want to connect with my partner because I'm so I'm being so cruel to my body internally and the way I'm speaking to my body. I don't want to give them the opportunity to also think those things about me.
I've had a client in the past that struggled with feeling sexy and confident while pregnant. And it's like that is the most beautiful time that you should feel so overjoyed. And that's the last thing that you're thinking about is how you're looking, because you have this amazing opportunity to grow life. I mean, hello. Like, I'm like, girl, you're growing fingernails right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, my client still was just couldn't get over that and couldn't feel confident to enjoy sex. And we tried to work through some things, and at the end of the day, it just came out of like, how can you get out of your mind and into your body?
Well, that's the real thing. It's like, it's not about loving yourself through like mirror work where you're just staring at the mirror, like, I love my body. My body's beautiful. You can't cognitively love yourself. You have to feel love for yourself. And feeling love for yourself means feeling into your body. It
Mm,
means noticing, like, and maybe it starts out really small of like, you get out of bed and you look in the mirror and you fucking hate the way you look. Can you say one nice thing to your body? I'm really thankful. For a while, I know many years ago, all I could think of was like, really thankful for my legs and my feet that are getting me out of bed so I can go for a walk with my dog. And like, that's all I could say for months. That was the only thing. And then slowly it became more of like, oh, I'm really thankful for my hands that can touch my body and hug, and my arms that can hug the people I love. And I love the way it feels in my body when I do these things. So it's not even just thinking about what your body's doing for you. It's also thinking about, how does your body feel when you're doing these things? When I get out of bed and I feel the heaviness of my soles on the ground, and I feel the tingles in my calves from kind of waking up, and I feel my body's desire to like stretch and move and get out of that sleepy state, like all of those sensations. It's about feeling the aliveness of your body.
mhm. And I think you were just perfect with that. Sometimes you have to start with something that is on the surface. And as you get more comfortable with that, identifying the feels and what that feels like inside of you becomes easier and easier over time.
Yeah, we should do a whole episode on this probably.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love that.
I hope that this will reach some folks and resonate with some
Yeah.
people.
Because I think it's also, we could talk about honestly the Ozempic housewife thing, because I think that that's something to really discuss and dive into, all of the Ozempic use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How that impacts also your yeah, relationships
totally. Yeah, absolutely.
and intimacy. Well, good. We'll keep that on the list to maybe go into next week or another
Yeah.
episode.
What's your ick for the week, or your hot take, or both? We can start with both.
My ick for the week was um okay, maybe this is also a hot take. Caroline Brooks like
Uh-huh.
trying to have a moment and like not showing up because she wanted a dramatic entrance. And my hot take is her ass was not flying private. She would be vlogging. She would have her own like behind the
Yeah,
scenes camera if her
totally.
ass was really flying private, truthfully.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
What
Uh,
about you?
my ick for the week is, so have you watched Hannah Berner's comedy special on Netflix yet?
No, but I've heard wonderful things about it.
Okay, it's so fucking good. And I was watching a like interview with her, and she used to be on Summer House. For those that don't know, I think a lot of people only know her now because of her comedy, but she was on like earlier seasons of Summer House. And she was talking about the reason that she got kicked off of Summer House was because Kyle and like everyone teamed up against her, kind of. She was going through a lot, like mental health. They were filming like in the middle of COVID, and it was her first time like not being at her parents' house and like being around people. And she also like did a paid sponsorship for Truly, and Kyle like lost his shit on her and called Bravo and Andy and told them that if they didn't fire Hannah because she did a paid sponsorship for Truly, that he would quit. So my ick this week is Kyle Cook, because fuck him.
Yeah.
Also, like, you guys drink Loverboy all the time. She drinks Loverboy on all of these other things and doesn't get paid for it. Let the woman make some money.
Yeah.
My ick is that, but my hot take is she said that fueled the fire for me to be like, I'm going to be better than you can ever be. And she's like, and I was like, I'm going to get a Netflix special and I'm going to
I love
and
it.
I love to see a woman that's like, in spite of a man, I will do this.
Yeah. So buy mullet,
Yeah, exactly.
buy rat tail.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was like, hell yeah, Hannah, I get it. And I didn't love Hannah on Summer House either. But she brought up a really good point in one of the interviews. She was like, on reality TV, you really only get to be like one dimensional. They really put you into these bins of like,
Boxes,
you're the
yeah.
rich one, you're the crazy one, you're the drunk, you're the partier. And like, she was like, I think that a lot of people didn't like me because the box they put me into didn't show like all of who I am. And it made like watching, she was like, even watching back episodes, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't like me either. Like the personality in the box they put me into like isn't all of who I am.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to pay for Netflix and see that sometime soon.
It's so good. You have to watch it.
Awesome. Well, this was fun. As always, please reach out to us if you have any comments, questions, concerns. We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Bravo Bedside Banter. If you have any longer requests, email us, bravobedsidebanter@gmail.com.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.